So sweet. So venture. Venture Lounge at emerges here. Batch 1, B2B and B2C startups.
This time it's like completely virtual event, but it turns to be a good tradition for gather brilliant startups and have more like a friendly, not in a competition manner, but more like a friendly showcase. And I'm delighted to introduce our panel of investors and judges who will share their feedback, share their guidance and experience to the startup as at the end of each session and the end of the whole batch. So let me start with a short round of introduction. So I'm delighted to introduce Alexander, who's principal at Atomico from UK, Merlin, and investment analyst from Signal Venture Capital, Germany, Marin, lead global innovation and strategy, 500 startup, USA, Mihal, co-founder and managing partner, Lighthouse Venture, Czech Republic. Kamil, investment director, Tar Heel Capital, Poland. And Hussein, partner, Hoxton Ventures from the UK. We're going to be presenting 7 startups in this batch. We have pretty strict time and schedule, so we have 5 minutes for pitch itself, 5 minutes for Q&A, and I'm going to be a host. My name is Sergey Sergeyenko, and I hope you enjoy that a lot. So let me call in the first startup to be on the stage. It is Friday HR. This startup helps remote-friendly companies fasten onboarding and build cross-functional teams. So you guys are the first on the stage. Good luck, and let's go.
Hello. When you start a new job, it's critical to build relationships with colleagues in the first 2 to 3 months. But even before the pandemic, fewer than 20% of the corporations were able to adequately onboard the new hires. Even only in the United States, the companies lose more than $1 trillion on employee churn every year. I'm Dmitry Kalupin, the founder of Friday. We help large and growing companies accelerate onboarding of new employees, establish networking in the format of random coffee meetings, automate mentorship programs on autopilot, and collect HR analytics. And we do all this by using the standard corporate messengers, such as Slack, Microsoft Teams, Telegram, Outlook, Gmail, and others. Good onboarding helps in retaining the best employees and increases their engagement and productivity, which is especially important today when a lot of companies and teams work in remote and hybrid formats. That's why the leading companies in Russia, like Yandex, MTS, Sber, MVideo, Raiffeisen, Semrush, and a lot of other banks and IT companies and FMCG companies already use the powerful Friday platform. Our market is $8 billion, and it grows 20% every year. We calculated that to build a unicorn, we will need around 100 large clients plus 1,000 growing clients. So we believe that's a reasonable goal. About the team. I met Daria 19 years ago. We studied at the Physics and Mathematics School at St. Petersburg University. And then we both studied at the university math department. She studied computer science, I studied chaos theory, and then we pursued corporate careers. And I also studied in the top Austrian business school. We started doing joint projects in 2015, and gradually, these were initially the passion projects, decided to leave our careers and to focus on helping people being matched. And our previous project, which was B2C, had Igor, who is our CTO, as a CTO. So Igor is a computer prodigy. He is programming since childhood. He wrote his first computer game at the age of 12 using C++. And a year ago, we decided to concentrate on the B2B. And we raised an angel round from Andrei Breslov, who is the creator of Kotlin programming language. Kotlin is now the default language as recommended by Google for Android development. So our revenue continues to set records. We're having partnerships with cool programs. We've just graduated from Sber 500. We are now the members of Startup Wise Guys family. And we have partnerships with PwC, and we also participate in some other programs. So we believe the timing is really perfect for this kind of project, and we're growing rapidly. We are raising the seed to go to the West. So let's create a productive and friendly working environment in the leading companies together. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So that was very good in timing, and so we have more space to discuss that with our judges and investors. Before we start, I wanted to introduce one cool feature that for every startup at the end of their pitch, we'll ask one investor to suggest specifically what would be the next step they can do in order to move their product forward. But that at the very end. So now it is all yours. And dear panelists, please raise your questions.
This 45K, it was MRR or it was quarterly revenue that you mentioned in your pitch?
It's quarterly revenue, and it's not all recurring yet because we currently don't have full self-service. We only give our clients ability to see the analytics themselves, and generally our customer success team does all the setup and so on. So you cannot use the platform just finding it over the internet. But one of the goals for this round is, of course, making the full self-service so that we can grow much faster.
Okay, because I've seen some chatbot startups and for the job industries, and the challenge was that once they were hiring, so they're like opening positions, so it was not a technical like a recurring revenue, because only when we are searching for new jobs they had revenue, so it was more like a project revenues. But VCs want to see like more long-term recurring revenue, so move from like a hiring space to also like in company like a value chain activities.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Of course, retention is the key. And we have not only retention, we expand all our projects with enterprise clients. So for most of the clients that I showed, we have multiple projects because we start with some departments, then it becomes in some way fashionable inside the company, and then other departments want to join, some cross-functional team wants to join, and corporate university wants to match the people who are in the corporate university. So there are a lot of categories of people and tags that you can like use to match people, and there are multiple projects inside the companies. Camille, go ahead.
Yep, go ahead.
From my side, well, thanks for your presentation. From the perspective of competition, you've presented the donut pipeline Hoya team. It's all well supported by a leading investment fund. And I'm wondering what is your competitive advantages, and how would you like to win against them?
Yeah. At least what we discovered, I think we saw like around 30 projects that do something in this area. Most of them are not direct competitors, but they do something in this direction. And there are like 2 to 5 companies, I mean, the venture-backed companies, which are doing something really similar. Most of them are doing bottom-up, so they're trying to give the freemium to everyone and try to convert some share of them into real paying customers. We don't do this yet. We believe more in top-down approach and going to the strategic level and discussing with the top managers, maybe not even with the HR directors, the needs and goals for the company. And we believe we can acquire much more knowledge. But of course, we will need to build the competitive barriers. And we have one more thing for this seed round to make. It's the like ecosystem of templates for how you onboard new employees, how you set up mentorship programs, and so on. And at least that's what we do manually now. We take the knowledge from one company and give it to the other company. We believe we will be able to build a public system where the top HRs show their skills, show their like ideas, how they do it for their employees, for improving their brand, like in terms of career and so on, and exchanging these templates, upgrading them, so launching the evolution process. But I'm not sure we will be able to do this, but I believe this will be a good competitive barrier if we are able to make such a platform.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else who want to ask Maria?
Yeah. What is your primary market?
These days, all of our revenue comes from the companies with Russian roots. And of course, long-term, our primary market is Fortune 500. It's the most evident market for us. We decided to go through the European market because it's easier for us in terms of network, of getting the initial contracts. And I believe in the next 5 to 7 months, we will be having a working lead generation machine in Russia, working profitably, working lead generation machine in Europe, not definitely working profitably. And we will make experiments comparing the markets in UK, US, Nordics, maybe Central and Eastern Europe. We will understand much better this in 5 to 7 months, I believe. Long-term US, now Europe.
So you mentioned that you just graduated from a 500 program. Which one?
With Sberbank in Russia, equity-free.
Russia. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. We have potential for one more additional questions from our panel. If you have one, just or I have one because that topic is very close for me, and I wanted to make this like a wrap up. So on the other hand, is to have a question on the other side is to make a suggestion, as everything is turning upside down with the pandemic case and all the remote work. I think it's very important to foster like this kind of a culture. For example, when you start hiring, you need to grow your own culture, and if you can help companies to grow their culture and spread it like globally, there's no regards to like countries and borders, that's going to be very cool. If you have that already, it's very good. But yeah, that's my advice for this case.
Yeah, I agree. That's a huge case. It's not so easy to show the ROI of culture, and usually when you sell to enterprise, you need to have some metric that you can definitely improve, like the amount of HRs that you need to onboard this number of employees, or amount of time, or some problems that you face because of not onboarded employees, and so on. But of course, culture and productivity and engagement are huge things, and the companies are starting to measure them better. The companies are starting to understand that even if you can't measure culture, it's still very important for churn, for productivity, and so on. And yeah, I totally agree that this is the huge case for us.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Friday HR. We're running out of time, and thanks and good luck. And I'm happy to introduce our next contestant, which is Neatsy AI. The startup builds AI that helps to find your fit and discover the best fitting sneakers, which is very cool. So guys, you are up on stage. Take 20 seconds to prepare, and we'll be having your own venture lunch. All right.
You can start pitching.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me. My name is Artem, and we are doing Neatsy. Neatsy is a platform for you to find the best fitting sneakers and order correct size online. Why we are doing all this thing? Because everybody knows that sometimes you order clothes and shoes online, and sizes are kind of a little bit messed up. Things are not fit, but I want to emphasize the magnitude of this whole thing. Well, the thing is, from 30 to 50% of all orders are returned, and the main reasons here are size and fit mismatch. And overall, having the sneaker market itself as a $90 billion US, we have 125 million every year customers that are actually unhappy with their size and fit. And while big e-commerce platforms are making returns as easy as possible, we want to fix the whole problem from the ground up and make customers more happy. And making customers more happy, we actually will make the shops more happy. Because when our pilots confirm that our solution reduce returns by 40%, and in some shops it actually translates to the increase of revenue to 40% because they have half of their orders returned as of today. Also, which is even more important, we have confirmed that we increase the confidence of users to buy things, and the conversion rate to purchase is increased from 3.5 to 5.4% using for those who is using our feature. And our current clients consist of Puma, Adidas in Europe, Merrell and Under Armour in the United States, La Moda, Ozon in Russia, and also we have Poison in China. Some of these clients are currently is paid up solution. Some clients are on free pilot as of today. So we have 2 paid clients as of now. We are able to achieve that because we have made the 3D scanning solution that actually use only your phone and nothing else. We are the first team in the world who make this thing accurate, not using anything else just by your phone. You just take your phone in your hand, take several pictures of your feet, and it provides accurate 3D scan, which measures length, width, arch height, pronation, and other parameters that is helping us to say what kind of sneakers will have a better fit for you, what kind of shoe styles you should take, and also what kind of size is optimal for you. Our current strategy is selling B2B enterprise SDK. We approach the client and calculate how much sneakers they actually selling right now. Our value impact usually is about $5 million per year. And we use the land and expand strategy. We are saying, hey guys, let's sign the first year trial for $60K. It will show you what is like the real value is out there, and this is like it will match the one that we are selling you. And after that, we want to upsell the clients with additional SDKs for Android web and warehousing, and get to the point when we have at 10% of our value income as our revenue from the client. There are at least 500 big e-commerce stores in the world that sell at least 500K shoeboxes per year. When I count that, I mean, like, for example, Puma, they have a store in UK, in France, in Germany. I count it as a separate stores. And all of them have actually have at least 500K shoeboxes sold. Overall, it translates to the 250 million of yearly revenue opportunities if we conquer the whole market. And why we are the ones that want to conquer it? The point is we have, as competitors, we have TrueFit and Fit Analytics. Both are close to $1 billion valuation companies. Fit Analytics got recently acquired by Snap for this amount. And we have actually more accurate approach, which is proven by the pilot with Puma. Puma was piloting us and also the Fit Analytics in Italy, and we have better metrics in terms of reducing returns and providing best size to the client. Also, we have some big companies like HP and Amazon who are making hardware solutions to scan your feet. We are better because we are just an app that uses your phone and nothing else. Overall, our team consists of ex-Prisma team. So we are the guys who made the Prisma app in 2016. We were responsible for the AI under the hood. So I was the manager who managed the whole ML team. And also we have two guys who was actually building the algorithm. Also, we have several business development managers who has the management consulting background. We got one in the United States, got one recently in China. He's not in this slides yet. And also we are trying to find one in Europe. Overall, we are fundraising as our seed round of 1 million. Half of this round is already filled up. And we are happy to share some other things about us. If you're interested, please ask your questions.
And thank you very much for your pitch. And dear panelists and investors, go ahead with your questions, Michal.
Who is your primary client? Is it brand like you mentioned, Puma, Adidas, or is it like the e-commerce player for which these Puma and Adidas or other brands are paying so that they have less returns?
That's a good question. We try to approach both of these groups, and it appeared that actually both are quite satisfied with our SDK and they like it. I think the more important question here is that our client is usually big e-commerce. Is that like small e-commerce shops, like really small, that sells over the Instagram? They're not that interested in improving their overall efficiency of the operation. They just want to have like, just increase the sales and nothing more. So it's more like big e-commerce stores. Both marketplaces with a lot of brands and the D2C brands department.
Okay, Michal, thanks for the question. Camille?
Thanks, Artem, for your presentation. I am wondering from the perspective of the scanning of the food by a client, how complicated is the process and how you manage to make it simple? Because it's not, as I understand, the simple photo. The customer needs to make a 3D scanning of the food, and I am wondering how do you manage to make it simple and not very demanding for a potential client?
Well, that basically 2 years of R&D almost that led to it. Overall, it's simple it's a sequence of different computer vision algorithms that is performed inside the phone itself, because the iPhones are quite powerful nowadays. And you can just go to the App Store, download Neatsy app, try it by yourself. It just simply it says selfie photos of your feet. You take a selfie of your feet, or basically like that, and then
you were prepared actually.
From the
what I see is like you were prepared for this exact the same question. How do you do this measurement?
I like this presentation. Well, so it
so basically,
requires only two photos of the food.
Two selfie photos for food.
Yeah, Alexander, you gave an applause for Artyom after the presentation. Maybe you'd like to step in and share your feedback or some recommendation for guys. Alexander, let me know if you'd like.
Yeah. Sorry, I was, as always, trying to find an unmute button here. I think, well, first of all, this is great. I think the biggest question that I have is, you mentioned the competitive advantage in terms of, we are better than others. The flip side of this is, what is good enough? Because if you're 15% better, but customers might be happy with what they get from other sources, it might be already good enough. That's one thing. The second thing is, an SDK is quite an interesting value proposition. I would try to think maybe make it less techy, because obviously the people that you'll be talking to are probably not the most technically savvy, users of technology. From that perspective, you can create even your self-hosted version of, you make an API call, anything that is used by the users of the corresponding app will be the ones that get the benefit. And then you can even charge differently, charge by volume, because obviously you want to sit somewhere nearby the value that you create. But this is a very interesting space. And, we've seen a couple of companies, including one that is built by my former classmates in Russia, that are trying to do that for the broader market, not only for sneakers, but, for clothing in general. And I saw that the note somewhere there that sneakers is only the first market for you, which, you know, begs the question, what else? 250 at scale, it's meaningful market, but it's probably not the one that would lead, you know, to multi-billion-dollar outcome here. So this is something for you to maybe think about.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, but I want to emphasize that these like 250 million opportunity that I basically mentioned, that's the revenue opportunity for basically what will be our yearly revenue if we conquer the whole market of sneakers.
The argument here is if you capture, let's say, aggressively 20% of that, that's 50 million yearly revenue, right? With even aggressive multiples like 20, that would be 1 billion max valuation. Not to, you know, jump ahead of the train and discuss valuations here for the exit, but this is something for you to think about what, you know, in your biggest dreams, what this could be. And if the answer is, you know, 1 billion, maybe the question is, how can you make it 10 billion? Because if you try to target 10 million, maybe you end up somewhere in between something and 10 billion.
Yeah, gentlemen, I have to interrupt you because time flies so fast. We're gonna have some time to discuss that after the pitch session. Artem, thank you very much. Dear panelists, thanks for your feedback. And I'm happy to introduce Game Academy as the next contestant on the stage. Game Academy, personal development and hiring platform for gamers. Get ready, 20 seconds, and you'll be up.
Hi, everyone. I'm Irina, founder and CEO of a London-based startup called Game Academy. The future of work is changing, and it requires new set of skills. Digital skills, soft skills, understanding of new technologies. There will be 230 million new jobs within the next few years, and 2/3 of them will be digital. Now, companies already face huge shortages. They don't know where to find this talent, but we know where the talent is hiding. Among the ranks of 2.7 billion game players around the world. By playing games, players acquire skills that are required on the job market. However, they don't know yet the credential of this talent until now. We're bridging the digital skills gap using the power of games and data. Game Academy is a personal development and hiring platform for gamers. So how does it work? User signs up to Game Academy using gaming profiles, Steam, PlayStation, Xbox. We then analyze their behavioral data, and using our data analytics, machine learning, and research, we report back skills, drivers, personality characteristics, and potential occupations. After it, users go through a soft skills development program where we help them sharpen those skills using in-game and real-life quests. And after it, we signpost users to further education and employment opportunities. We have add-on employability paid options available for gamers. We also have a referral fees from employers and educators, and we license our analytics and learning modules. We are developing the venture in 3 stages. We've passed now the first stage, where we brought together a community of gamers, completed our research, data sets, and data analysis, and tested our methodology with various prototypes. We are now on the stage 2, bringing on board employers and educators, and we have now 12 partnerships in place. And also, we are starting to scope the 3rd phase, which is integration into game titles and gaming platforms. And we are starting to do this being members of the Ubisoft Entrepreneurs Lab. We've launched a platform in autumn, and since then 2,500 users have completed our programs. We have quite a high satisfaction rate. We've been measuring increase in self-confidence, employability skills, and willingness to apply for education and employment opportunities. We've just completed 1-year evaluation with UCL Institute of Education that shows that our approach helps to improve all these 3 parameters. We have an amazing team to make our plans come true. 4 nationalities, 2 PhDs. We founded and scaled companies in media, HR, and education spaces. We've raised up to date £230,000 from Department for Education in the UK for educational and innovation foundations here. And we also grow partnerships with key players in the gaming industry, in the employability and skills sector. We are now raising a round of £450,000. We have a lead investor for just under half of it, and we're looking for more great investors to join us on the journey. So if you want to speak, please contact me after the event, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Are you connecting those users also to employers, or it just stops with like training them and educating them?
We are now starting to build these partnerships. Before that, we had a directory of opportunities where we would just empower people and then they would apply on their own. But now, onboarding educators and employers, we have more targeted opportunities to signpost people. So the idea is to grow this directory and to make more personalized pathways.
Yeah, I believe that your service contains much data from like real playing. So people spend so much time in apps. They cannot like fake some, because some HR questionnaires, they are very easy to fake. But you should think more about the monetization. So like you need to prove to the employers that you have like more valuable data and you bring them more quality employees than from other sources. And if you manage it to do that, then you can easily scale. And I saw that you have also the agency part, so you should be careful so that you don't put too many services that are labor intensive, and that there is just a plain automation, and you are the platform and you are not the agency, but the platform connecting these people with the advertisers or with the employers, but don't be the agency sitting as the middleman.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michal. Yeah, so I think this kind of a direction is a big next thing. And Marine, maybe you'd like to add in your feedback or questions for Irina and Game Academy?
Yeah, I had a question for you actually. So I see that you are raising almost £500,000. I want to understand a little bit more how you're going to be using that round in order to be able to scale, and how you're applying it directly to your go-to-market strategy.
So this round is to grow in users, to grow the B2B network of partners. and to create and implement the pilot integrations with games. So we are now scoping this third stage. So this round is for 18 months runway for us, and the main focus would be to grow this B2B network.
But so have you made any existing revenues as of today?
Yes, so we have now paid partnership with the local authorities in the UK, where we signpost people to digital boot camps and reskilling. This is an ongoing contract. We also have 2 paid contracts for this summer with the government careers hub, with the training provider, and with the college.
What's the yearly value of those deals?
So this contract that we are on now, they actually pay us a referral fee per signposted client and per person. I mean, on average in the UK market, such referral fee for upskilling or reskilling is £200 to £1,000. So we are on the lower scale of this. So they pay us around £200 per referral.
But so back to my initial question, have you made any revenues yet?
Yes. So
But
right now,
all yearly revenue.
so we completed now the 2 paid projects with this client. We actually just started this paid projects this year. So in March, it was £2,500, and in April, it was just under £10,000. So we are now starting this paid projects.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Maureen. They're in the beginning of their journey. And Marilyn, let me ask you to be next. Camille, you're next to Marilyn. Yep.
So how do you link hard skills and soft skills? How do you identify, for example, a software engineer? How do you identify a designer? How do you link all that?
Yes, so we are overall doing data analysis and looking for correlations between games, skills, and jobs. And we've started with the 2 sides of this equation. So we've created a data set mapping people with track record in both careers and games, and we looked into the games that they played, and then we mapped it with their current occupations. And we have a large data set, so now only looking by someone's gaming data, and we have a set of parameters that we're looking into, so genres, choice of games, all the tags associated with the games, playtime, achievements. So now only looking at the gaming data, we can recommend potential occupations. In terms of the skills, by playing games, people grow soft skills or meta skills. So things like problem solving, creativity, leadership, online communication, decision making. And here we have some existing research that's going on how we identify these skills. And we do not measure hard skills by playing games. In our report, we have soft skills, personality characteristics, and drivers, which are actually much harder to assess by existing methods, and also potential occupations.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for our judges. Thanks for your feedback. Unfortunately, we have to make a small wrap for Game Academy. Good luck to you guys. And I'm delighted to invite EduDo, the startup that tried to solve integrating self-development into modern life by creating a mobile platform with big-sized applications. So we are from the same country, and I'm delighted that guys are also from Belarus. So you are next on the stage.
Please wait. Okay. Hey everyone, pleasure to be here. And it's a matter of fact that the world is changing faster and faster. And the big question is, how can we keep up on this pace? In the digital era, knowledge rapidly becomes irrelevant, and traditional methods of gaining it do not fit the current lifestyle and the world dynamics, and it becomes almost impossible to engage young people in learning without new approaches. Actually, self-development now resembles more an action rather than a habit. You take an hour in your evening, make tea, open your laptop, launch masterclass, Coursera, YouTube, and self-develop. Sorry. This flow doesn't fit the current lifestyle. It requires concentration for a long period of time, times to the place, and often the content doesn't engage, and more than that, even frustrates after a few minutes of watching. That's why many people, and especially youngsters, drop it and dive into TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, and after doing so, many of them blame themselves for wasting time. And we believe that the only way to seamlessly integrate self-development into the life of a modern person is to make it as engaging and easy as watching a series on Netflix, listening to music on Spotify, or browsing an Instagram feed. And that's why we are building EduDo, a mobile platform with bite-sized, user-generated, interactive, insightful content that can be consumed no matter where you are or how much time you have. EduDo is quite similar to TikTok in form. After launch, you see a feed that offers you bite-sized content. You can like, comment, and share the pieces you like, as well as subscribe to the authors. You can also search for content manually using our Search and Explore tab. And after each video, we suggest taking a short quiz to remember the information. We also work on adding some gamification, on gamifying user experience and visualizing their progress. Since we are building a platform on which users generate content themselves, our main long-term monetization model is advertising, but we also plan to test other hypotheses related to in-app payments and purchases. Our target audience is people focused on self-development, and there are many of them. Recent research state that 51% of social media users follow creators to learn something new. We compete with all the products that can be used on the go for gaining insights and time killing. And our main competitors are, of course, TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat. We believe that we will be able to attract our target audience by focusing users on insightful content without distracting them on the entertaining one, by gamifying the experience, and by visualizing their progress. There are 15 folks in our team, and our C-level is a nuclear mix of product development, content marketing, design, and venture capital experience. We started in August 2020, released an iOS MVP in December. Since then, collected insights from our current and potential users and raised 2 rounds of about 500K. The latest one of 300K we've raised a couple of weeks ago. Hooray! And now we're testing a core hypothesis to find our product market fit we hope we will manage to do so before starting raising our next investment round. I think it will be a late seed of 1 million plus in order to create a platform that will become an ultimate solution for users to gain insights on the go in a very informal and engaging way, and for creators to share insightful experiences and earn from it. And now we're looking for ambitious and self-conscious folks who want to join our journey. Feedback from people with experience in building social platforms, educational products, and behavioral psychology, as well as investors interested to know us better before our next round this fall, that we'll be raising to make self-development well of life. Thank you.
Thank you, guys, and congratulations on a great milestone you achieved recently. So, judges, EduDo, they're all yours.
I saw that you have 20,000 users. Do you have also any information on like the unit economics, like how many or how much time these people spend on your platform? How many education pieces are they like taking? Is this number increasing? because just number of users is static information, and VCs want to see some progress and dynamics of the usage data. So this is what you should focus on. And with the young people, you can only help those who want to be helped. And with platforms like TikTok or YouTube, there is infinite number of content. So it's very crucial so that you have only the relevant ones, and that's very easily to be found and accessed, so they don't get lost in the ocean.
Sure thing that kind of the number of users is just a vanity metric, not a metric we should focus on. It's just for kind of understanding our scale for now. So now we see a great improvement in daily spend time by our users, as well as retention rates. In average, our typical user spends more than 6 minutes a day on the platform, and I'd say that for now we have a great segment of users. We call them our power users. These are the folks who have somehow interacted with the content, like, comment, share, or following the author, and they show quite a great retention rates. I'd say that if we take these power users, it's more than 75% day one retention and more than 22% day 30 retention for the power users. And we are now work harder to kind of widen this segment of power users. For now, it's about 19.5% of our all users.
Yuri, we owe some time slot for Camille. Camille, so as it turns to be, you're next.
Hey, thank you. So from my point of view, for you to be successful, you need to create a marketplace of both creators and viewers. And typically with marketplace, there is a chicken and egg problems. So my main question is, what is your strategy to deal with this problem in your product?
Sure thing. A little content, little users, little content. Actually, we try to tackle this problem by providing value to our content creators. We now have more than 100 of content creators, and we have customer developed, I'd say, a couple of hundreds of them, and we see one common problem among insightful content creators. Well, you can make insightful content on YouTube, TikTok, etc., etc., etc. But the main problem is that it is hardly monetized. The only way they can monetize it now is a synchronous way, like lead generating to generate leads to your webinars, masterclasses, etc., etc. Also, they try to kind of lead generate to some asynchronous, like sell the online courses. And on our question and how it's going so far, 95 to 97% of them were kind of hysterically smiling because it's not going well so far. So we're trying to introduce, and we're now working on introducing some ways to allow our content creators monetize their content directly in-app through some in-app purchases or donations, as well as to simplify the experience of lead generating to some paid stuff.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Alexander, maybe you'd like to step in and share your feedback.
Yeah, I think the interesting question that is related to the previous one is, how do you create virality? And the caveat here is, like, I know zero about B2C models, so everything that I say is quite theoretical here. But what we see with similar products with B2B, like Looms of the world, you need to create some sort of viral loops that would help you break that chicken and egg problem and make content creators incentivized to create content on your platform. We're an investor in Masterclass, which is a good example of how you can do that, but that's high-end content, and that's where you can approach those content creators one by one. And this, I think, in this case, if you think about which side to approach, probably content creators are the more scarce resource. From that perspective, even that early stages, if you can create a critical mass of those, even by paying them a referral fee, for every piece of content, you'll pay them $1 or something like that, that could help spearhead the movement of then followers consuming that content. But I think it's an interesting concept, but obviously, quite early to judge, and quite a number of questions here.
Sure thing. Thank you. Actually, regarding content creators, we are now building an in-app video editor, and we will introduce some unique features, because there is a common pattern for content creators. They first use new platforms not for gaining audience, but for creating content, some pieces of content that cannot be created in other ones. So we have figured out some features that all other platforms lack, and now are building a video editor MVP to create this viral, you create content in EduDo, okay, it's published here. You also share it somewhere else with a watermark, and you create it in EduDo just because there are these unique features. That's why I'm completely agree with your point, and we are working on it. Give us some time.
Thank you, guys. Yuri, thank you very much.
It's okay. I had just a small question for him.
We are running out of time, Reem. Sorry, I owe you time for the next panelist. And please take care. Take it out from the session. You can ask and talk to Yuri after the.
Okay.
Thank you, EduDo. And let me introduce our next contestant. It's RoadTravel. It's first global curated routes ecosystem for safe and sustainable car travels. So guys, you are welcome to be next up on the stage.
Hello, my name is Nikita, and I'm the founder and CEO of RoadTravel, an online marketplace platform of curated routes, establishing a new industry standard for car travels and tourism destinations. According to a recent study from Airbnb, and I'm quoting, travel by car is the only means of travel that draws majority interest in 2021, beating air travel by 17 points. At the same time, the market of trip planning is still very fragmented. You have to visit multiple websites, collect information in pieces. We want to make car travels easier and safer for all and everyone. We want to make car travels more eco-friendly by introducing routes designed specifically for electric vehicles. And we want to make them a part of your lifestyle so that you can travel every week or every 2 weeks, in addition to proper road trips 1 or 2 times a year. So focusing on city breaks and staycations. The technology that we have created is a versatile routes designer, multilingual with global coverage, that enables anyone to explore and plan trips to any destination and publish those trips in the form of actionable stories in the marketplace. This is an epic journey that I'm going on next week. Starting from London, going to the very north of Scotland and back in 11 days, 3,000 kilometers driving, 8 places to stay, and somewhere between 50 to 70 points of interest along the way. And this all took me just a few hours to arrange. So it's not only going to be one of the most epic and intense journeys I've ever been to, but also one of the simplest in terms of arrangements. But what is most important is that it's super easy to repeat the experience through the product of curated routes. And this is how it works. You choose a route in the marketplace, you get access to a complete author's story with a detailed travel itinerary, bookable components, pre-calculated routes, tips and tricks from the author, and then you can just experience the story by easily sending navigation instructions to a navigation app of your choice on your smartphone or even to your in-car navigation system. Our business model is diversified, but is completely based on a single product. On one hand, we are offering white label solutions to tourism destinations to enable car travels in those destinations at scale in the form of B2B partnerships. On the other hand, we work with our automotive partners to enable an all new in-car experience for travelers and creating new avenues for revenues in terms of revenue sharing from selling paid subscriptions and affiliate bookings to end users. And the same business model works for B2C. So both B2B and B2C markets are multi-billion markets. Last year, we won our first paid contracts, companies like MasterCard, Volkswagen, and Porsche. Next month, we are launching a project for the Saudi Tourism Authority, which will be a key tourism marketing project for this year for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And for the first time in the industry, curated routes will become pre-integrated with the navigation system of a premium German car maker later this year. Our company is already break-even, having secured more than $500,000 of revenues for 2021 and aiming at least $2 million by the end of this year. We're raising a Mango seed round of $3 to $4 million, two of which we already have an investment proposal for from a potential lead investor. The investment money will be mostly invested into hiring key talent, as well as increasing our sales, business development, and marketing capacities. Last but not least, why are we doing this now? Well, first of all, by introducing and developing electric routes, we believe that we can make our contribution into the adoption of electric vehicles. Local travel and car travels in particular is a great way to restart tourism and support rural and remote destinations development. And again, creating content today means that we will be powering autonomous travels in 5 to 10 years' time. So this is the investment that we are making today. If you would like to join us on this journey, please contact me at invest@road.travel, and feel free to use road.travel by visiting www.road.travel and trying it for yourself. Thank you so much for your attention. Ready to answer your questions.
Thank you, Nikita. And that sounds very envy when you're saying that you're going to be traveling across the whole island, here and there in this hard and pandemic world. But great. Thank you for your presentation. Maureen, would you like to go first with your feedback?
Thank you. Thank you, Sergey. Nikita, I had a question for you. So looking at, so I saw that one of your objective for Q2 of 2021 is that you were going to be building a travel system in Saudi. So what are you foreseeing as being one, main challenges in doing so? And two, have you thinking already about ways in which you could scale across the region if you're going to be doing that for Saudi? What are other countries where you could replicate this? And have you already started conversations with them?
Yeah, Maureen, thanks a lot for this question. So we have already developed the project, and we are launching a marketing campaign together with Saudi Tourism Authority in June. So I can clearly talk about the challenges that we've already faced. Well, first of all, it's about sourcing local experts and incentivize them to contribute to this project, because I probably couldn't go into many details, but there are challenges associated with how the client sees this as the end result. And the quality standards are very high when you work with the Ministry of Tourism as your client. So this is also a challenge that is, it is interesting to find solutions to those challenges, and we are succeeding with that. And answering your question about scaling this, definitely. So one of the key hires that we are planning to onboard as the part of this funding round is actually a chief commercial officer who has a very strong relationships with DMOs around the world. We already have business partners in the MENA region as well as in the North America, and we are building up a pipeline of partnerships to be scaling this to other geographies. So we really want to become the #1 platform of curated routes.
Thank you. Alexander, would you like to add in or share your feedback?
Yeah, I think this is very exciting, and we need to have more roads. And by the way, I've done a part of the road that you are planning north in Scotland. That's a beautiful part of the country there. So good luck with that. I think the question I have is, how do you become category leader, whatever the category is here? So maybe you can say a few words about 10 years down the line, how do you envision the company changing the world, so to say?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Definitely North Coast 500 is probably the most picturesque part of this journey, but we will see. So answering your question about where do we see ourselves in 10 years time? Well, in 5 years time, we see ourselves as the #1 platform of curated routes. So that is our ambition. And how we're going to approach that? We very strongly believe in strategic partnerships. So we are currently working on several partnerships with big automakers. And I'll give you an example. A company in the automotive world that we have signed a partnership with called Cerence, which is the world leader in creating voice assistants for cars. Every second vehicle in 2019 is powered by Cerence tech. And that's one of our strategic partners. And I can say that by working with tourism destinations, we can actually enable content creation at scale. So we see ourselves more like a technological enabler other than an end user product, even though the end user product is our main IP. But we are distributing that IP using the channels of our strategic partners.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Thank you. And maybe as an advice, Michal, would you like to advise as the next step for RoadTravel in order their journey?
The most important is to find content partners that could enable scaling, so that you don't have to hire people. Okay, I now hire people for Scotland or wherever, but to enable some partnerships that will enable you to scaling multiple locations. Because if you partner with these automotive companies, then it's difficult if you have only some country here, some country there, but that they would require like pan-European coverage, because they don't sell cars only to specific locations, but you need to scale very fast. So this is the main challenge. So that if in some locations people will have the car there, will look up in the app and they will see no routes, then they will instantly kill it and they will not give it a second chance. So this is your biggest concern, to scale alongside with the interest to scale the content.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Michal. Thank you, RoadTravel. Nikita, good luck. And we are going pretty well. We have 2 more contestants to be presented on our stage, and I'm happy to introduce Lucky Carrot. As you might think this company helps companies to increase employee engagement, as I think guys playing with the 2 approach, carrot and stick, right? And you choose the first one. So the stage is totally yours, and I think we'll be up in 20 seconds.
Okay, great. Thank you. Just a second. Managers are busy, and it's hard to spot if one of your employees isn't invested in the team anymore. These are your disengaged employees who are not ready to go the extra mile for your company or put their best efforts, ideas, and passion into work. And by the way, 85% of employees worldwide are not engaged at work. And only in US, employee disengagement costs about $500 billion annually. So what can you do if you're an HR manager, CEO, or part of the management team? I'm Mariam, and I'm introducing Lucky Carrot with its end-to-end solution to diagnose employee concerns, spot early signs of employee disengagement, enhance engagement, and finally, measure outcomes. First of all, with Lucky Carrot, you can collect anonymous feedback from your employees with special designed engagement pulse surveys. Aside from that, Lucky Carrot gathers data generated by your employees in the peer-to-peer recognition model. In this model, employees say thank you to one another for daily great job and achievements, matching their thank you with company core values like to foster culture. Afterwards, employees turn their recognitions into fun activities, experiences, and branded gift cards because timely rewards make a big impact. After collecting all this data, now you're ready to measure employee engagement score, dig deeper to discover disengagement symptoms in advance, and see the problem roots to save your time, because nowadays companies cannot afford to address disengagement until it's too late. Based on daily recognitions, Lucky Carrot maps for you real-time employee interactions to get insights and respond to behavioral changes. See who stays out of communication. Any separated teams? See who's at the center that maintains cross-team communication at your company. Filter through real-time data generated by your employees every day to explore your informal leaders, key team players, best executors, and so on. Lucky Carrot helps you to also answer the what's next question with automated actionable recommendations when early signs of employee disengagement are detected. We help you use the platform at best. And finally, it's time to measure outcomes. You get predictive insights linking engagement data with performance data by using our KPI and goal management module to see exactly what really drives your employee performance. Operating in a SaaS model, we charge $4 per employee per month, and we also plan to take 15% commission from gift card providers. We have 40 clients, both paid and trial from Armenia and from US, and I haven't mentioned in the map, but we are starting a trial with a Nigerian company, which is the child company of Binance, and a telecom company from Iraq. Among our clients, we have the biggest telecom operator, Viva MTS, with us, Philip Morris Armenia, and one of the fastest growing startups, Crisp. Additionally, Lucky Carrot will soon be implemented with one of the local banks with 1,200 employees. Now see our client traction graph and the user traction. And by the way, our retention rate is above 85%. Here is what we do better. In-depth engagement report, actionable recommendations, measuring outcomes. And what we love most is that we collect data and we can make employee turnover predictions. That's the big vision. And we have already made the first steps into it. In US, the serviceable available market for small and medium companies, which is our main target, is $28 billion. For our growth, we do mainly direct sales and inbound marketing, partnerships with HR companies, and we do also events. Soon we'll officially announce the HR offline conference we are organizing, inviting HR experts from leading local companies. In our team, we have more than 30 years of product and full stack development, entrepreneurial as well as business experience. Our MRR now is $5,000. Expected MRR by Q4 this year is $10,000. We had a pre-seed of $80,000 and a grant of $50,000 after winning at a local competition. We are looking for $0.5 to $1 million for 18 months of runway with the purpose of US market growth. And to add, finally, Lucky Carrot became #1 product of the day, 3rd product of the week, and the 5th product of the month this year on Product Hunt. Thank you, and my contacts for being in touch.
Thank you. And I'm happy to start feedback and question session. Alexander?
Yeah, well, first of all, congrats on strong traction. This is very encouraging and early signs of product market fit. Maybe one thought and one question. The thought is, so we were an investor in a company called Pecan, which you probably know about. And one of the insights that came out of that investment is the more data sources you have, the better it is and the better models you can build. So I would encourage you to think, which probably you're already doing, but I would encourage you to think not only about many more data sources, but many more different data sources. So you could, maybe provide different angles to the recommendation that you're given. And also Pecan was very heavily used by startups as a way to present the engagement to the board, which was a very interesting way to engage different stakeholders and make it useful for many more people around the table. And the question I have is, with any solution that measures engagement or measures anything, the flip side of that is, employees might rebel in a way and might, think of a big brother watching behind their back. So from that perspective, how do you make sure that employees do not perceive your solution as a stick rather and perceive it as a carrot? Obviously, the cards is one component of that, but also would love to maybe hear more thoughts around the second part.
I'm very grateful for everything you mentioned, because everything was like very on point. And we have gone through it and still going through it. Regarding the question, here is the thing: when we enter, a company with Lucky Carrot, during the onboarding, we have a very important step, which is the user onboarding, user training, right? So we collect everyone, like here in a Zoom call, if it's a local company, just, in their office, and we, with the HR manager, show Lucky Carrot its purpose. When it comes to surveys, guys, this is anonymous. This is the purpose of your company doing the surveys. And sometimes even one of the, there are actually, it's very interesting. There are companies that when we present, they bring in people and they tell us to present everything, the data that we collect, and with their teams, because they are very, very transparent. And when you do that, actually, employees become more trustful towards the company and towards the platform. This is usually what happens. The main answer is that you introduce employees what you do exactly.
Got it. Thank you.
What is the customer expectation to get this up, and how do they benchmark it if it is making sense? Like the churn is lower, and how are you addressing this? Are you meeting this expectation, or because they are paying? So what are they getting in return, and are they happy?
So if I understand your question correctly, how the client measures the value for money in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. The answer is there is feedback, a lot of feedback that we get. Some of them are qualitative, some of them are quantitative, right? For example, there can be use cases when a company measures their company culture alignment with our tool, sees that, for example, one of their values is being underused. And there are reasons. Some employees do not know what it means. Some people just do not have it, do not bear it. And then they do steps and then measure it with Lucky Carrot and say, okay, we saw the problem, otherwise we wouldn't, and then we did it. So this is more of a qualitative thing. But if we talk about quantitative things, then firstly, we have the engagement survey. So we measure the score, we understand our problems, and then we understand the metrics, like their scores. And then throughout using Lucky Carrot, we give them recommendations, with account managers, to work with them and to increase those metrics, which is absolutely measurable. And
okay, so it's like a data-based evaluation,
yes,
so that they can see progress in the long run.
Yes, and plus, as I also mentioned, we are by the end of May, the beta is going to be released, the KPI and goal management module, to measure your employees' performance. So this is how we can also add value to understand engagement is a very big thing. So in one company, one component of engagement can drive performance, in another company, another thing. So we're going to link these two data together for you to measure which part of the engagement drives more performance at your company to add more value in that.
What the communication tools do you use to measure employee interactions in the real time?
What's the question?
What communication tools or platforms do you integrate to measure employee interactions in the real time?
Oh, that is based on the daily recognitions. We do together every day, teamwork, and we help each other. For example, you might have a newcomer, new hired employee that is being onboarded, and this people has tons of opportunity to say thank you to other people. So you can also even see how this new hired person is being integrated within the teams. So this is another use case from a client, actually.
So you're not measuring internal communication platform like Slack or email?
No. Yeah, no, we integrate with Slack, but we don't use any Slack data or something. No, it's based on the daily recognition.
So you do it more manually, right? So you treat all this data, gathering it from employees and accumulating.
Yeah, it's just happens automatically every time a recognition is sent. But there are also other data points. Actually, for example, that Sasha mentioned, you need to collect. There are some other features that help us collect other data from employees. That also help to measure these interactions.
Yeah, thank you very much. Lucky Karet. Wish you good luck. Yeah, in your journey. And this batch, we are wrapping up with Delivers AI. The last in the list are startup. Delivers AI is designed to autonomously deliver food and groceries. And in this case, guys help to actually get it from the shop to your doorstep, combining state-of-the-art next-gen navigation technology with an appealing design. They're gonna explain it more, and guys, the stage is totally yours.
I'm sorry.
Hello, I am Ali Yarali. I am the founder and CEO of Delivers AI. As Delivers AI, we revolutionize and automate the local food, grocery, and parcel delivery. Today's delivery means are nightmare for restaurants and customers. So regarding the online order platform sites, money, time, and hygiene are the main concerns. And after COVID, from the end user side, again, there was past problems, and the hygiene concerns are added to those problems. So as Delivers AI, we would like to optimize the logistics and decrease the delivery costs in every 1 mile diameter areas in the cities. So that's why we are creating a contactless delivery robot network, which is autonomously deliver your orders from your favorite shops to your doorstep with our unique autonomous navigation technology and autonomous driving software. So our delivery robots are operating in every 1 mile diameter, and robots are using sidewalks and also public spaces with pedestrian speed 78 km per hour, which is safe speed for the regulation side. And our robots are two modes. The first mode is, and which is our vision, autonomous mode. And the second mode is teleoperation mode. So as much as the robot going autonomously, sometimes there is a human assistance that teleoperator helps the robots in unexpected situations. And our delivery robot has 15 kg payload and has 90 liter volume. In Delivers AI concept, we have win-to-win. To our customers, dark kitchens, online food order platforms, while we were optimizing the logistic, we decreased the cost. Since we operate in 1 mile, consumers always receive their products in time and also hygienic. From the environment point of, since we are electrical devices, that's why we are fully emission free. In terms of business model, our customers are online order platforms. So we are not selling to robots. We are not taking the orders also. Once we agree with our customers, we are deploying the robots in designated 1 mile diameter area, and we are charging them 3 to 4 euro per delivery, which means that delivery fee as a service. We are also calling it B2B, software as a service, and we are partial hardware company. The market is huge, and we are focusing on specifically European region, and in 5-year period of time, we would like to reach 15 billion euro market share. We already signed 6 letter of intents in Turkey at the moment, and our first deal in Europe is Glovo, and we will start with Glovo in August in University of Madrid. Our competitors are for the 1 mile delivery now traditional delivery riders, but we are not seeing them exactly as a competitor, because as Delivers AI, we are coming to the space as a robotic delivery option. Since on COVID times, there is a huge demand for the delivery guys' labor, and there is not that much in the Western Europe. And as Delivers AI, we come to the space as a robotic delivery option. There are similar concepts in US, like Starship, Neuro, Postmates, Cartcan, but in Europe and also Gulf region, there is no companies at the moment to make it fully commercialized. Our team is, we are 2 founders, me and Oral. We are both 12 years robotic experience engineers, plus manufacturing experience and past VCs. And also we have 2 advisors. Volkan is from MIT, helping us as an autonomous driving and mobile robotics advisor. And also Massimo, who is the founder of Kitchen United, and he will help us about the dark kitchens and online food order companies' problems and solutions. Plus, he's founded and investing in dark kitchen concepts, robotic food systems. As Delivers.ai, we founded in last year in August, and we raised 280,000 as a pre-seed fund. And end of December, we made our first delivery robot. And from January to April, we made 500 autonomous deliveries with 100% success rate without any software and hardware failure. After those success, we are producing 3 more robots, and we improve our robots. We are raising 2 million euros as a seed fund, and 1.2 million euros is already committed. In terms of unit of economics, we are expecting 20 deliveries per day, and average 2.5 euro per order and 70% margin. And when we increase the number of robots, we saw a leading huge potential upside. And finally, regarding the regulation, in US, in 12 states, delivery robot regulation already approved, and we are working for the Europe and GCC networks. This is the time. Thank you very much to listen to Delivers.ai.
Thank you, Ali. And dear judge, it is all yours. We're ready for your questions and feedback.
It is not true that Starship is like from the US. It's actually from Europe. It's from Estonia, and it's quite successful. And in order to build like big successful company, you need to like compete with them and to find your like added value. Because the fact that they are not in your region doesn't mean that they will not expand them. So just saying, if you are building company, this big competitor is not here yet. It is not helping to challenge them. You should think about ways how to challenge them and how to beat them globally, because soon they can come to your market, and if they offer superb solution, you will be in trouble. So it's important to benchmark yourself with them as a European company.
I totally agree. Of course, Starship is heavily funded by VCs in both Europe and US, but they are headquartered in US at the moment. So they are operating on US market. But of course, this business, we are expecting like as a regional differences, like in the scooter businesses. So that's why, we would like to start in Europe to keep some corners here. This is the thing. Of course, we have some differentiated from Starship. And we know that this is a strong competitor for us. But since these technologies are emerging technologies and the market is unsaturated at Europe at the moment, and when we increase the autonomy level also slowly, we will keep some of the corners in the European market. This is our aim.
Ali, question for you. So what is your operating market today?
Actually, our main market is Western Europe. We are in our technical teams in Turkey at the moment because of the travel restrictions. We are operating in Istanbul Technical University with 3 companies at the moment, which is e-commerce and online food order and online grocery order companies. But our main market after the fundraising will be Spain, UK, and also just Germany.
But so so you're saying that your operating market today is Turkey, and you're looking at expanding from Turkey to Europe.
Exactly. So yes.
But I have a little bit of a, I guess maybe it's because I didn't understand. Why is your expansion markets Europe and not MENA?
Actually, the thing is that for the delivery robot business, since we are operating on the sidewalk, the first thing, it should be well-infrastructured sidewalk city. The second thing, it shouldn't be vandalism risks. And the other thing is, of course, also in Turkey, but high adoption to online order. And the final thing is that early adoption to e-scooter, which means that regulation is following the e-scooter regulation. That's why all these things, plus densely populated cities, shows us Europe and Dubai at the moment. Turkey is not our main market. We just make our proof of concept in one of the closed environment like technical university. But Turkey is not the main market, just since we are Turkish founders and our technical team is in Turkey. That's why we make the proof of concept here, and we will carry our product to Western Europe and Dubai.
But what's going to make you competitive compared to other European startups who are already developing this in their domestic market?
Actually, in Europe at the moment, there is no competition because just Starship, they are just making some deliveries in Tallinn and also some of them making in Hamburg. So the market is totally free at the moment. So we are going to keep some corners to scale up, like in the e-scooter business, because when in US, Lime, Jump, Bird kind of companies emerge, and then in Europe also there are some regional or local e-scooter companies emerge. We are expecting delivery robot business also will be regional. So that's why we would like to be early, we would like to be the fast, and we would like to be the first mover to keep the corners in Europe to become the major company in Europe about this.
Okay.
Thank you. And I think it's a wrap for this batch. Thank you very much for all contestants we have. Thank you for our judges who shared their feedback. I hope you enjoy. I hope some of you is going to make useful connections. So feel free to use Speakers Launch. Feel free to use the Vine application to connect to each other. Do network as we used to do that in the old normal and head into the new normal. And in a couple of minutes, we're going to start next batch of the startup. So follow the main stage, and we'll dive into the next set of the bright ideas and the startup. So stay tuned. Thank you very much and take care. See you in a couple of minutes.